Welcome to Bhagavad Vicara. So Bhagavad Vicara is a course of Mayapur Institute. This is a weekly course for the resident devotees of Mayapur Dham. And the motto of this course is to inspire devotees in studying Srimad Bhagavatam and guide them. So here we meet once in a week, and for each class we cover one chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this YouTube channel is an extension of this course, where we are planning to make a short video on overviews or chapter summaries on each chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, so that devotees all over the world also can take advantage of this. Thus, both the serious readers and the neophyte readers of Srimad Bhagavatam may get benefited, get helped. सर्वशस्त्राब्धिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फल सर्वसिद्ध्यान्तरत्नढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्पद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वंत उदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षाक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमस्तुमे मदेक बंधो मत्संगीन मद्गुरो मन महाधन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानंदो नमस्तुते असाधु साधु तो ध्यायिनति निचोच्चताकर हान मुंच कदाचिन मां प्रेम नरित कंठयो स्फुर ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमोऽयं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवसति गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna. So basically the idea is we try to see the overview of one chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, or summarize the chapter in short. So here for this overview what I am using is a part of Bhagavad Subhodhini, which is a publication by Tulsi Books, and it is produced by Bhaktivedanta Vidyapith. And devotees who are more interested about this can visit the Vidyapith web page www.vidyapith.in. They can get more details about this. So for this chapter, the chapter is entitled as Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwaraka, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 11. So in the previous chapter, or chapter 10, it describes that how after the battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Sri Krishna, he stayed all these events in Hastinapur in the battle of war of Kurukshetra. Now he had to return back to his place Dwaraka Dham, where the Yadus are waiting for him eagerly. So at that time we saw different events took place, and at last he started his journey for Dwaraka Dham. At the end of the chapter we also saw that how the Lord, he crossed different provinces of India, and at last he came near Dwaraka Dham, or Dwaraka Desh, which is called Anartha Desh also. Now in this chapter we will see that after arriving at the gate or the entrance of Dwaraka, how the Dwarakavashis came, the Lord heralded his conch shell, which heralded his arrival there, and upon hearing that conch shell sound, all the Dwarakavashis came there to meet him, to greet him, to welcome him, and they took him, the Lord, inside his palaces, and how all different devotees they greet them, and how the Lord reciprocates with them. This is basically and at the end of the chapter we will see the Lord's transcendental character also. This is basically the chapter at a glance. So this chapter, first 3 verses, it talks about the Lord's conch shell sound heralds his arrival. Or that means after arriving there, the Lord, he sounded his conch shell. The conch shell, it has two specific characteristic. What was that? That conch shell sound, it threatens fear personified, and it dispelled dejection of citizens of Dwaraka. Because the Lord was not present there, therefore all the citizens of Dwaraka, they were in separation from the Lord. Therefore, when that sound, conch shell sound they heard, all their dejection, all their separation, they were enthusiastic again in their heart and very much blissful. So next, from 4 to 10, we can see the citizens welcome the Lord. How the citizen, they rushed to the Lord from the sound, where the sound came. They understood the Lord came there, Lord Sri Krishna came there. And so all of them rushed there, along with different various kind of presentations to offer the Lord, self-sufficient Lord. And then from 6 to 10, we can see there only that how they offered various welcoming words to the Lord. They glorified the Lord, His incomparable supremacy, and how the darshan of Lord is rare even for the demigods also, which is very much rare to get the darshan of Lord, and how the separation from the Lord is very much unbearable. All these things are described very wonderfully. And then from text 11 to 15, it is described the decorations of the city of Dwarka, how to welcome the Lord, the whole city of Dwarka was decorated so wonderfully. And there we will also see the wonderful aspects of Vedic guest reception. From 16 to 23, we can see how the Lord reciprocated with the wonderful reception he was received from the Dwarkavasis, the inhabitants of Dwarka. His close relatives, prostitutes came there, different categories of people, they came for reception to the Lord. And how Krishna honored them in terms of their rank and position. Everything really, it can be seen in this chapter. From 24 to 27th text, we can see the Lord's attractive beauty, Lord's insatiable beauty, his different aspects of his form, wonderful form, his chest, face, arms, and lotus feet, how they are glorified and compared to different things. We can see then analogies of inconceivable natural phenomena. That is a very wonderful aspect there. And then from text 28 to 29, we can see that how the Lord reciprocated with his mother, headed by Devaki. And from 30 to 35, his dealings with the queens, how he dealt with the queens, how they reciprocate, how they received the Lord and offer reception to the Lord. And from 36 to 39, it talks about the transcendental character of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His wonderful household life, that also will be described there. So now we'll try to touch each verses a little bit and see what was talked there. So first three texts, 1, 2, 3, it talks about the sound of conch shell of Lord. So in the text 1, it is said that the Krishna sounded his auspicious conch shell, and when he arrived at the nearby Anarthas, or the place of Dwaraka, he sounded his conch shell. And in text 2, it says that the white and fat-bowled conch shell appeared to be radiant. The reason why was that conch shell was being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna, and by the touch of his transcendental lips, it became radiant. So in that text, the one wonderful analogy is given there. It seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems of the red lotus flowers when the Lord was holding the conch shell in his hand, in his grip, and he was blowing the conch shell, sounding the conch shell with his lips, transcendental lips, so that conch shell became red, deadened. From text, in text 3, 1.11.3, it is said that Having heard the sound of the conch shell, that is, the citizens of Dwarka began to run towards him. So interestingly, Srila Prabhupada gives, for many of the verses of Bhagavatam and purports, he gives titles in the beginning of his Srimad Bhagavatam. And unfortunately, many of us, we just avoid them, we just don't follow them, but that is very much important. So here we will try to include them. Srila Prabhupada gives title for this particular verse is that the citizens of Dwarka rush to greet the Lord. So in the purpose of Srila Prabhupada explains wonderful things. One of the thing was that just like this conch shell, the sound of conch shell, it was to remove all the dejection of the Dwarkavasis, which can remove all the fear. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada said that this sound of the conch shell, it represents the Supreme Lord, the holy name. It is non-different from the Lord, non-different from the holy name of the Lord. Just like the sound of conch shell can eradicate, remove all the fears, similarly the holy name of the Lord can remove all the fears, all the problems in our life. Prabhupada said that our material existence is full of fear and problems. So if we take shelter of the holy name, we can be free easily from all these fears and all these problems in our life. So from text 4 to 10, it is described that how the citizens welcomed the Lord. In text 4 to 5, it is said that they arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations. They took various presentations to offer to the Lord, and analogies are given there. Their presentations offering to the Lord, it was just like offering lamp to the sun. All the sun is the source of all the heat and all the light. Therefore, a small lamp if you offer to the Lord. What is the glory in this? Similarly, offering all these presentations to the self-sufficient Lord was just like this. But yet, the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as words welcome their guardian and father. That was the love and devotion of the citizens of Dwaraka. In text 6, it is described that incomparable supremacy of the Lord. How the Lord, they described, they started offering their glorification word to the Lord, welcoming word. And they said that, "Oh my dear Lord, you are worshipped by all the demigods and even the King of Heaven, and you can, even the inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you. You are free, you are beyond the influence of time also. Kala Tita." In text 7, it is talked that the following the footsteps of the Lord gives all success. They said that, "Oh my dear Lord, by following your footsteps, we have been awarded all the success in our life." Similarly, one who follows your footsteps can get all the success in his life. This is the source, this is the secret of all the success. In text 8, it is said the rare fortune of your darshan, to see you is very rare. Even if Prabhupada said in the purport, he wonderfully describes how it is very much rare even for the demigods also. You can see in the pastimes of Lord Krishna that when Brahmaji went to at the bank of Kshira Samudra along with the demigods, so they prayed there, but they could not see the Lord there. The message came to Brahma and Brahma passed it to the demigods, but even they could not see the Lord. In text 9 it is said that unbearable separation, how they are saying that, "Oh my dear Lord, to stay without you, it is very much unbearable for us. Even every moment of your absence seems like millions of years." Analogy they are quoting here. "O infallible one, at the time of our eyes become useless as we are bereft of sun." Just like without sun we can't see anything, although we have our eyes, although maybe our object of vision is in front of us. Similarly, without the Supreme Personality of Godhead, His mercy, we can't lead our life. So after that, in text 10, it is described that devotees' inability to live in separation of the Lord. They are describing that, "Oh Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face. whose smiles vanquish all our sufferings. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing their speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dwarka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. So thus the Lord entered the city of Dwarka. So here now the descriptions will come that how the wonderful city of Dwarka was decorated wonderfully to welcome the Lord in Dwarka city. 11 to 15 describes this. Text 11 describes that just like the city of Bhagavati, the capital of Nagaloka, or the place of the serpents, it is protected by the Nagas of the serpents. Similarly, the Dwarka city was protected with the descendants of Vrishni, like Bhoja, Madhu, Dasharha, Arha, Kukura, Anthaka, who were so strong as Krishna. So they were protecting the city of Dwarka. In text 12, it is described that the opulence of Dwarka city. Prabhupada gives a title, that description of Dwarka, the perfect city. So it was, the city of Dwarka was filled with all opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, etc. So wonderful that it was decorated. All the festive signs of Dwarka are described in text 13. The city gateway, the household doors, festooned arches along the roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves, all to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands, and signs of painted with slogans, all combined to shade the sunshine. So in text 14, it is described that the cleanliness of Dwarka city, how it was clean, the highways, subways, lanes, the marketplaces, the public meeting places, all were thoroughly cleansed and moistened with scented water to welcome the Lord. Text 15 describes the decoration of the houses of Dwarka. In each and every door of the residential houses, there are auspicious things like yogurt, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, and full water pots, with articles for worship, incense, and candles were all displayed to welcome the Lord. So thus, after describing the wonderful decoration of city of Dwarka, now it is Sutta Goswami describes Lord's reciprocation with the reception. How the Lord reciprocated with all the receptions given to him. In text 16-17, Sutta Goswami describes that the reaction of the close associates of the Lord, just like just like Vasudev, Akrura, Ugrasena, Balaram, the superhumanly powerful Balaram, Pradyumna, his son, Charudeshna, Samba, the son of Jambavati, all were extremely happy on hearing the arrival of the Lord in Dwaraka, and they abandoned all their sitting, resting, and dining, and they all rushed to the Lord. It is described in text 18 that they hastened toward the Lord with the Brahmanas. Prabhupada gives title, the Vedic hospitality. They hastened there on chariots with Brahmanas bearing flowers and other auspicious items. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune, the conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Thus they offered their respects, which were saturated with affection. In text 19, Sutta Goswami describes this. Many hundreds of well-known prostitutes also came there to meet the Lord. And they are looking very much beautiful and dazzling earrings, all their ornaments. Prabhupada describes in the purport that what is the need of having prostitutes in the city of Dwarka? So Prabhupada describes that, this is because in Vedic system or in a perfect Varnashram based city, everyone is needed. Nobody is useless there. Therefore some people are there who are not so much cultured, well cultured, and so they have lowly nature. So if the prostitutes are not there, so this kind of people, they will exploit the good women of the city. Therefore, the prostitutes also play a vital role in establishing a proper culture in a city. Therefore, so that all other ladies, they remain protected and safe. In text 20, it is described that various groups of people are welcomed. The various groups of people, they welcome the Lord according to their respective talents. Who are they? Expert dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, geologists, genealogists, and learned speakers all gave their respective contributions, being inspired by the superhuman pastimes of the Lord. Thus they proceeded and on and on. They were glorifying the Lord according to their talents. So similarly, in Krishna Kushila, Prabhupada often says that whatever talents we have, we can use in Krishna consciousness in glorifying the Lord in various ways. In text 21, it describes that Lord Krishna offered due honor and respect to each and every assembled personalities according to their rank and position. Friends, relatives, citizens, and all others who came there to receive him and welcome him. Text 22 describes that the Lord greeted everyone in terms of rank and position. To some he bowed his head, with some he exchanged greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions. Even to the lowest in rank, Achandal, everyone who were assembled there, according to the rank and position, the Lord reciprocated. Yatha yatha, it is the word is yatha vidhi. Srila Prabhupada comments in this in his purport in the word to the word yatha vidhi. Yatha vidhi means according to their due honor, according to their post and position, rank and position. Just like in Vaishnava songs, our Vaishnava Acharya sings that সকলে সম্মান করিতে শকতি দেহ নাথ যথাযথ. So this is the same in similar way it is explained here. In text 23, it is described that the Lord personally entered the city along with all the Brahmanas there, with their wives, and all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also prayed the glories of the Lord. In text 24 to 27, the Lord's wonderful beauty is described. Eagerness of the ladies to see the Lord. Text 24, Srila Prabhupada gives title that the greatest festival is seeing the Lord. To see the Lord is considered the greatest festival. So in text 25, the insatiable beauty of the Lord is described. The Lord's beauty was so wonderful that although the inhabitants of Dwaraka, they would see regularly, constantly the beauty of Lord, wonderful form of Lord, but still, yet, they were never satiated. Then it is described the four aspects of Lord Krishna's beauty. What are the four aspects? The Lord's chest is the abode of the goddess of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes, which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting places. In text 26, it is described the four aspects of Lord Krishna's beauty. How are they? The Lord's chest is the abode of the goddess of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes, which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting places of the administrative demigods, and his lotus feet are the refuge of pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordship. So these are the different aspects of Lord's beauty. In text 27, it is described that his inconceivable natural phenomena, just like when the Lord was entering in Dwaraka city, he was passing by the street. It was looking like just like white hair fans moved in semicircles, and showers of flowers fell upon the road. His yellow garments and garlands of flower made it appear as if dark cloud were surrounded simultaneously by the sun, the moon, rainbow, and lightning. Prabhupada explains in the purport that generally we can't see all these things together appear to the sun, the moon, rainbow, and lightning. All of them can never appear simultaneously at the same time. They're opposite nature. But this is the inconceivable nature of the Lord, inconceivable potency of the Lord. When the Lord comes, everything becomes possible. Next section, text 28 to 29, describes the reciprocation with mothers headed by Devaki. In text 28, it said the Lord's obeisances to his mothers. The Lord entered the palace of his father, where Devaki and all other his mothers were present there. And the Lord, he offered his obeisances. The Lord offered his obeisances in front of his mothers. And Prabhupada gives the title that the Lord greets his mothers. Text 29, pure affection of the mothers. All of the mothers, how they had pure affection for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They embraced their son, set him on their laps. In next section, text 30 to 35, dealings with the queens, how the Lord dealt with his queens. In text 30, it said that the Lord entered in the palaces of the 16,108 queens. Prabhupada gave the title 16,000 wives. So thereafter, the Lord entered his palaces, which were perfect to the fullest extent. His wives lived in them, and the number over 16,000. So Prabhupada explains that Sarva Kamam, just like the Supreme Lord is unlimited, similarly his desire is also unlimited, and therefore the facilities to provide, to facilitate his desires are also unlimited. So reactions of the queens, what were the reactions? They were rejoiced. They rejoiced within their minds to see their husband home after a long period of time. And then they embraced the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How? First, they embraced him in their heart, then visually, and then they sent their sons to embrace him, which is equal to personal embracing. And they shed their tears of love. In text 33, Sutta Goswami describes the glories of the lotus feet of the Lord. Although the Lord Sri Krishna was constantly by their side, as well as exclusively alone, his feet appeared to them to be newer and newer. The goddess of fortune, although by nature always restless and moving, could not quit the Lord's feet. So what woman can be detached from those feet, having once taken shelter of them? Prabhupada explains that all the people in this world, they are begging for the mercy of Lakshmi Devi. But Lakshmi Devi never leaves the lotus feet of the Lord. And therefore Prabhupada said that Lakshmi without Krishna or Narayan is Maya, illusion, which will destroy us. Therefore we should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. In 34 it describes that Lord is the reason behind the wars between the administrators. Prabhupada gives title that Krishna instigates battles between demoniac leaders. Analogy is given, he was like the wind which causes friction between bamboos and so sparks a fire. Similarly, the Lord, he causes friction between the demoniac kings and administrators and leaders, and he instigates war between them. In 35, they describe that Lord's human pastimes. Prabhupada gives title, Lord's family life explained. How Lord enjoyed his family life, household life there. Text 36 to 39, the last section that describes the transcendental character of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 36, unagitated senses of the Lord. This is an important verse, wonderful verse. Uddama bhava pishuna malaval guhasa brirav lokanihato madano piyasa sammuhya chapam jahat pramodottomastat yassendriyam vimathitum kuhakerna sheku. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and fruitive glances are all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. So that was the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In text 37, speculation of the common materialistic conditioned souls about the Lord. They speculates him about that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is affected by matter, although he is unattached. And after that, in text 38, it is described that the Lord and his devotees both are beyond the quality of material nature. Etadishanamishasya prakritistopi tadgunai nayujyate sadatmaster yatha buddhistadashraya. This is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. he is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. The purpose Srila Prabhupada describes about how the devotees are also not under the influence of the material qualities, material nature, three modes of material nature. He gives the example of the Sikh Goswamis of Vrindavan. The left there, they are materially considered, they are very much successful personalities, very opulent, and all the name, fame, qualities, everything they had materially, but still they left everything for pure devotional service. That was thus there. Even the devotees are not under the influence of the material nature. So what to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? In text In text 39 it is described the atheists and the pure devotees both are unaware of the extent of the glories of Sri Krishna. Title given by Srila Prabhupada is that the Lord's wives do not know his glories. So the simple and delicate women truly thought that Lord Sri Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. They were unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband, as the atheists are unaware of him as the supreme controller. Srila Prabhupada describes in his purpose wonderfully that this is just like the atheists, they don't know the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead because of the influence of Mahamaya, the external potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, illusory potency. Similarly, the pure devotees of the Lord also they don't know about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is that? Now, this is the influence of internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Yogamaya. Because to facilitate the wonderful pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although they know it, by the influence of Yogamaya, they forget it for time being. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the first canto 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarka. Hare Krishna. So thank you for being with us. So we're getting more and more PDFs on Srimad Bhagavatam, and to get updates on this, please follow us in YouTube. Our YouTube channel named as Bhagavad Vicara. Follow us in Facebook. Our Facebook page is Bhagavad Vicara. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai.